Hey everyone, welcome to the PFF Betting Podcast. I am your host, Kendall Valenzuela, joined as always by Ben Brown, data scientist here at PFF. And today we are breaking down all the best bets for bowl season. Bowl season is upon us, so we are ready for that. And now our only single NFL game on this fine Saturday between the Patriots and Colts. So let's get into it. Football fans, I'm sure we all love an action-packed, high-scoring NFL game, but with the latest no-brainer from DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, you'll be a winner once a single point is scored. New customers who bet just $1 on any team to score can win $100 in free bets. It's just that simple. If Sportsbook isn't available in your state yet, you can still get in on the NFL action. Everyone can play for huge cash prizes all season long with DraftKings Daily Fantasy Sports Contest. DraftKings is giving all new customers a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes with their first deposit. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code PFF. Bet $1 on any team to score and win $100 in free bets if they score. You score with promo code PFF this week at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Must be 21 or older, New Jersey, Indiana, or Pennsylvania only. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit and $1 wager required. One per customer. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. I think we have to start off by just admiring what a great Thursday we had. I don't think we can gloss over the fact that we hit on a ton of props, and even, it's a great day when the odds boosts hit. So It was a great day.
Yeah, the odds boost, the same game parlay came home. So I know a lot of other people were, upset, especially Chargers backers were kind of upset with the way that things went. But this was like the first game that felt like it actually landed kind of perfectly from, how we discussed it to be. And it actually played out that way kind of on the field. So the only down spot, Justin Herbert over interceptions, unfortunately. But other than that, it was the perfect Thursday night matchup. And I think it lived up to the hype, right? I thought it was a really enjoyable game. So I will take it. I think Saturday night here is going to be just as good. So I'm excited to talk Colts Patriots. I know we lost one of them with the COVID stuff. It's obviously been a pretty crazy week 15 for everybody. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, then I know we had a great Thursday. We're just going to keep it going. Let's start then with the NFL slate. So like you said, we lost the Browns Raiders. That game was now postponed to Tuesday. So Ben and I will still obviously cover that game for that episode there. But yeah, let's get into then the Colts Patriots game. So something that we both like is both quarterbacks. We're gonna go back, Ben. Both quarterbacks under 0.5 interceptions. That's Mac Jones, Carson Wentz. We're taking the under on both. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, this has definitely been probably our one real bad down spot. I'm trying to remember the last time that I won an interception prop bet, but I continue to write them up, continue to talk about them in video format and everything else, and I feel like at some point the variance has to shift a little bit. But both these quarterbacks basically, bottom five in terms of where they play rate, which is, the best single stat predictor of interceptions going forward. So both of them really capable of taking care of the football, low average depth of target. Obviously, both are going to rely quite a bit on their rushing attack. I know Damian Harris is out for the Patriots, but I still think Ramondre Stevenson's going to be able to, get some productivity going. And I expect both these quarterbacks to take care of the football. So I know it hasn't paid as well as we would hope before, but this one I feel somewhat confident about, I guess, on Saturday.
I like it. And we're getting a bang for our buck by saying just pick two. We're picking two. So sometimes, Ben, we can't go wrong there because people can't come to us and say it didn't hit. It's like, well, one of them did. We gave you both. So 50, we're really
unfortunately we usually get, the interception props at the plus price. These ones, just given, the quarterback makeup and how they've taken care of the football so far in 2021, we don't have that, but I still feel good about it. I think this is going to be a nice offensive game here between two teams who, are going to run the ball heavily. So I think, even the supposed rushing fans and those sorts of things are going to be pleased with this Saturday night matchup, I think. So
nice. I didn't even ask, like, what do you think this game comes down to? I think it's another Patriots win. I think that they continue to play well, like we saw before, and just kind of continue to roll, lean on Mac, and see how good Belichick is. But I'm curious as to see what you think.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of been on the other side. I do
Okay.
like the Colts. I think they're just, a little bit underrated, undervalued maybe in the betting market. So I do have, some look-ahead lines on this spot. I think basically even money on the Colts. They're now 2.5-point favorites. Greenlight doesn't really have value on, the spread, but I do still kind of lean, slightly in the Colts direction. I do think they'll probably win by a field goal here. And I do expect, more points than what the betting market even projects. I think 45.5. That's moved up from like a look headline of 43.5. I expect, actually both passing offenses to be a little bit more productive than what people give them credit for. I know, both sides probably want to rely on Jonathan Taylor, and Ramondre Stevenson as much as possible. But I think Belichick's going to make that hard. I do think we're going to see Wentz kind of have to step up, hit guys like Michael Pittman, Zach Pascal, and T.Y. Hilton to a certain extent as well. So I think it's going to be more of the Colts passing offense has some success. And that's kind of the differentiator that ends up winning them the football game is my expectation. I know I've been wrong before, but we'll see. So.
No, you wrong?
Never,
We're never wrong, Ben. What are you talking about? You can't tell people listening that.
If I was never wrong, I feel like I would just be sitting in Vegas all the time. I don't know if I'd be here.
You wouldn't.
Betting,
you wouldn't be with me. That's for sure. We wouldn't be sweating it out at 3 p.m. on a podcast.
Exactly.
I'd be following everything. No, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. I hope it's a good game because that Thursday game was so good. Right. It didn't start out well. Like as a person that does social for PFF, we were kind of sitting there like, oh my gosh, it's midway, close to half, and we like barely had any highlight plays out there. But then, man, it came alive. It was so fun.
Right. Yeah, it did really come alive in the second half, especially the fourth quarter. I mean, you saw the Chiefs' big play, offensive playmakers actually make those plays.
Yeah.
So I think, it was a lot of fun. I think it kind of, goes back to the point where, offenses typically dictate the success of the defense. I think, people really like both defenses in this Saturday night matchup. The Colts and Patriots both have a top 5 ranking in a PFF's opponent adjusted grades, but I still think both offenses can be efficient enough and have the right play callers in place to actually be successful. So that's why I probably lean a little bit toward the over, and I do think that is probably one of the best bets here on Saturday night. So expect a little bit more points scored, and I think everyone can agree that's the best brand and product of football that we get. So
yeah, absolutely. We did post. I'm going to ask. This is a curveball. It has nothing to do with this what we're talking about, but we did post what quarterback would you want for the next 5 years? And after seeing Herbert yesterday, is your answer not Herbert? Between like Herbert, Burrow, I don't know, Lamar, like any of those guys, is your answer not Mac?
I mean, so is Mahomes not included in
No,
that?
we didn't include Mahomes because everyone would say Mahomes.
Okay, yeah.
But it's like Herbert, Mac
I
Jones,
think Herbert and
Burrow.
I think Herbert and Burrow is kind of like a really interesting discussion. I personally have like what we would probably consider the next generation of quarterbacks. I think I would have Herbert. Still number 2 to Patrick Mahomes. I do think he's better than Joe Burrow. And that's kind of, I would say, somewhat drastic for me to say because heading into their rookie seasons, I had, Joe Burrow probably way ahead of Justin Herbert. So the fact that that has closed so significantly, given the fact that Joe Burrow is still like PFF's highest graded, passing quarterback from a clean pocket in 2021, I think it speaks volume to how good and better than expected Joe Herbert has been in my opinion. So I would definitely put him as probably that second guy behind Patrick Mahomes.
Quote graphic.
Sure.
I'm gonna text the graphics team right now and just say
Herbert.
Herbert's the guy. All right, to get back on track. The next one, long live the quarterback rushing prop. We have to get back to it. I'm so glad we have one finally because we have the line open right now because it's a Saturday game. Carson Wentz over 9.5 rushing yards. I'm ecstatic. Once I saw this on the sheet, I was like, I'm just going to go bet it right now. But Carson Wentz, he's averaging over 3 rushing attempts a game. But this is the lowest that this prop has been for him this year, right?
Yeah, definitely. So he's had 2 other games, I think, where he's been at 9.5 rushing yards.
Okay.
He was at that last week as well, and didn't go over it. Missed it by 1.5 yards. He had 8 last week. I think in week 7, kind of when he was still maybe returning from that injury just a little bit to start the season, he was at 9.5 again. These are closing lines, and he's gone 6-5 in his 11 games so far this season. I still think he's was dealing with that foot injury to start the year. That was kind of when he was slow and not necessarily rushing as much. So I think given the fact that, Belichick's going to be focused on stopping Jonathan Taylor, we could see, Carson Wentz probably be just a little bit more successful in that rushing attack on some, counters and other actions that we see in the backfield. So I like this. I like this one quite a bit. I definitely think it's my favorite prop bet here on Saturday night. So
I think it might be one of mine because we haven't talked about a quarterback rushing prop in a really long time.
I know.
So
it feels
now
like
it's
way too long. We
way
can't go
too
that
long.
Ever again,
way too long. Well, are there any other, before we get into the odds boost, are there any other props that you kind of see that you're liking, or maybe even something that you're just tracking and maybe not pulling the trigger on quite yet?
Yeah, I mean, I do like Mac Jones, probably over 21.5 completions. I do think that, drops down a little bit further. I expect them to probably be playing from behind a little bit. I do know, people are going to say, he's been relying basically on his, rushing attack. He's still coming out of that game against, the Buffalo Bills with two passing completions, 3 passing attempts. Maybe there's a little bit of, psychosis baked into this line. 21.5 has kind of been on the low end of his range in 2021, and he has been right around 500 with that. So I think given the fact that they're underdogs, low average depth of target, if they get out from behind, he's going to be making some wide receiver screens and those sorts of plays, pretty easy throws in a lot of scenarios. But I do think that leads him to go probably over his 21.5 completions. So I like that one quite a bit. Not a spot that I've wrote up. That's a PFF betting podcast specialty, and I like it.
Podcast special.
Yeah, I might like that one the most, I guess, now that we've
now that you were saying that, I'm kind of thinking, I'm like looking at my phone, like trying to write it down. I'm like, I'm gonna re-listen to this, but I'm marking this on my phone to make sure I go do that. A podcast special. I know people were messaging me on Twitter and Instagram saying that your odds boost before we get into them were a spot on Thursday.
They felt good.
So yeah, I bet it did. So now I'm excited to hear your other odds boost for this week.
Yeah, and these kind of fit in a little bit with what we talked about previously. Both are on Caesars. I know us, when we record this, unfortunately, some of the time, the sites haven't released it, especially if there's like a big betting menu in other sports on that same day. So we're still talking about this on Friday. So Caesars was the only spot that I really found, but I did have a couple that I really liked. Mac Jones, over 225.5 passing yards and under 0.5 interceptions. That pays out plus 320. And our player props tool likes him to go over 225.5 passing yards. And of course, we already talked about the interceptions. Given the plus 320 payout, if it was just break even, we would be expecting a lot less of a payout than that. Given the fact that we show a little bit of an edge, that is probably the best odds boost I think you can find so far. We'll see. Maybe we can tweet some out, if we get some on DraftKings, and FanDuel, and those sorts of things. But I like that one quite a bit. Another one that's it's decent given the expectation. Carson Wentz and Mac Jones, each over 1.5 passing touchdowns. That pays out plus 390. If you're looking at, just the odds for them to go over 1.5 passing touchdowns and an uncorrelated parlay price that is like plus 370. So you do get like 20 cents of value or something like that, I think, on this particular prop right now based on the current pricing. So I think that's definitely worth, a sprinkle as well there in Caesars. So.
Oh, I agree. I'm after Thursday, it's just, I'm just going to lay it all out there.
We got to stay hot on those. I know those are, it's a good way to, and hopefully we're catering to, giving both, more advanced bettors and, newer bettors some stuff that can hopefully help increase their ROI and bankroll. So.
Yeah, because I know we've talked about it, but like my friends and I, we love parlays. Because one, it's just toxic. So I'm sorry to admit that because it is toxic. But we just like getting the potential of hitting, 2 or 3 of those and getting a bigger payout than we would just putting it on a prop. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
yeah, definitely. That's the thing. It's like, then you're only risking $25 or something. You're getting a pretty good payout. I honestly think in a lot of ways that is kind of where the betting market is going. And I've adopted them as well. I probably honestly never really recently and before this season bet very many parlays. I would do it every once in a great while, but it's definitely something I'm doing consistently here basically every single game. So I do think it is, if you find the right bets, It's actually probably a great way to, build up a bankroll as well. So
exactly, like you said, big bang for your buck, really.
Big bang for your buck. And
When you don't have a lot to work with, but you still want to do it, I think it's a great way to still get in there and be able to watch and have fun with your friends and all that kind of stuff. But I know we talked with Eric on whenever that was, Tuesday, bowl season, Ben. Bowl season is upon us. It's here, actually. I think there was a game on Thursday that started at noon. I mean, it's an absolute privilege. So I'm excited.
We have the game on right now. Toledo, Middle Tennessee. We're sweating out the under here. 38 points with 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. I do think the under 51.5 is going to hit. I was talking with Eric Eager earlier. I did get some 54.5 in game as well when they were actually scoring, and they had no points being scored in the third quarter, which was absolutely perfect. So we're sweating out some unders. I do like a couple more. I know we talked about maybe one of these the other day, but I think to start off Saturday, under 68, Appalachian State, Western Kentucky, PFF Greenline likes that one quite a bit. It's gonna be dicey at times. I don't mind that one. And then Oregon State, Utah State on Sunday here, kind of kick off 67.5 total. We also like the under on that. So those are probably the unders to sweat out. In saying that, we just got a touchdown in Middle Tennessee. So it's just maybe unders aren't a great idea. Maybe we should.
I was going to preface this with us saying it's a lightly used we, folks, because I am not sweating out this under at 3:00 on a Friday. That's just, if my parents listened to this and they heard I was sweating out that under, they would call me immediately. So I just want it to be known that I am not one to do that. But I am with you on Saturday's boat. I think you guys also liked the UAB Blazers, right? You just liked them straight up money line? Yeah,
definitely. I don't mind them straight up. We also like them against the spread, still sitting at basically +7. We do like that one quite a bit. I think the +215, +220 money line, also a decent spot. And I do think that's one of those places where you can sit on that key number 7, but I think getting that payout at +215 is probably the best option. So lean money line with the Blazers. I think that's going to be, the start to a fun Saturday. That's probably my favorite bet here.
I'm so excited.
From the college football, slate for sure.
I agree.
So.
I already locked those in after we talked about it with Eric on Tuesday. So I'm excited. I'm excited. And everyone, you can, I'm looking at it on my screen while we're recording this right now, but PFF Greenline on pff.com/betting. It is so fun because Eric and Ben have made it almost too easy to look at these, because it's just, you can see everything on it and you can see where PFF shows value. So kind of like what Ben was saying. I mean, Toledo, there's a lot of unders, Ben. Oh my gosh.
Right. Yeah.
I think it's all under.
Dicey. I'd lean more towards some of those money lines. Again, if you find one like UAB +216, that's kind of not necessarily similar, but it's close to kind of like some of those lower end parlays that you can pay out. So especially with college, the value in points isn't as much. We do see dogs win outright just quite a bit more, especially during bowl season. So grab hold of some of those, money line bets, and definitely let us know too if you have any feedback. I know PFF Greenline, the betting dashboard, those things all kind of got a little bit of a makeover. If you have any, suggestions, praise, not so much praise or whatever, definitely hit us up. We're definitely still looking for a lot of that feedback, especially from our loyal podcast listeners.
Yeah, so. Ben and my DMs are open. Ben, what's your at for Twitter? What's your handle?
Yeah, so PFF_Ben Brown is my handle. You can definitely hit me up anytime.
Cool.
Keep the DMs open. Let me know what's going on. So,
and mine is K Valenzuela. That's VALENZUELA 17. Like I said, I've been enjoying. I've gotten a couple, Ben, and they haven't been bad DMs. So I think we're on the right side so far of them saying, yeah, we won money, and I'm like, yes. I just can't wait for those super angry ones where we just miss everything. So I'm ready though. I'm prepared.
Yeah, me too.
It's okay.
I got thick skin, so let me hear
it's
it.
Okay. We can't make it this far in this industry and not. But is there anything else you want to say before we lock it out? Do you have a lock of the week or anything like that?
I mean, we'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow. I think we're gonna find a lock of the week here. We might see what happens if we can get a third opinion on the PFF Betting Podcast tomorrow for that Sunday slate or not. We will see, but I'm sure, given the current situation we're in, everything is going to be completely different, an entirely different different betting market here as we head into Sunday.
It's going to be weird.
Stay
Yeah.
tuned.
So
stay tuned.
I know, what a teaser. I love that. I almost want to just cut it off right there. No, but thank you everyone so much for joining us as always. Ben, thank you so much. And we will be back, like Ben said, to preview kind of everything that's going to go on Sunday. And I think you'll want to tune in because there is a lot of things changing. So we'll make sure to keep it very up to date so you guys have the best bets that we can give you. But thank you so much everyone for listening.